Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is once again Daniel Stern from Jerusalem, Netivyah Bible Instruction Ministry. It's midnight here in Israel, October 8th, and we are starting a new day in this after yesterday's tragic events. I'd like to start with just saying this is the day the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be happy in it. Obviously not an easy thing to do at this time, but we do have to remember that throughout history, the Lord has preserved us and kept us, and He will not fail to do so. As I first have to start by saying that the number of casualties has gone up to 300, and there are wild and unconfirmed estimates that it will be considerably higher than that before the night is done. Additional relevant information is that there's still minor skirmishes going on. There has been, just one moment, I need to turn off my vacuum. Sorry about that. A point of interest is that there have been some activity in the north, in the Hezbollah section. Nothing major yet, but supposedly Hezbollah has said that if Israel enters Gaza, it will join the events, which is an interesting comment because we are seeing how the U.S. is moving one of its aircraft carriers towards the Gulf. We can imagine that the event in Gaza is one that the leaders in Gaza knew would result in a very strong counter, which probably means that it was, as we can assume, motivated by Iran as part of the axis of evil. On the one hand, the Gaza, Hamas, Hezbollah, Iran axis, but additionally, it could also be a larger picture of the Iran, North Korea, China, Russia type axis. It could be that this event, which we can clearly see copies some behavior patterns that we've seen in Ukraine, how guerrilla warfare can slow down and stop armies, and certainly we can also see imitation of the Viet Cong attacks against the American bases, which even though were turned back by the American forces and the cost of lives was higher in the Viet Cong, it was the start of the American defeat in Afghanistan and their eventual withdrawal. Obviously, this is a completely different situation because American forces were very far from their home, and here we are fighting on our homes and in our homes, but it's interesting to look at the comparative strategies that we can see and learn from. Anyways, the point I was making is that this event could lead to a larger scale action that involving the Hezbollah and Iran, which most assume will get involved if there is concern that their proxies, Hamas and Hezbollah, are in danger, and that could alleviate some of the pressure that the West is currently putting on Russia. But I don't want to go into conspiracies. I don't know if it's planned, although it could very well be. But it's in the geopolitical perspective is certainly an interesting one. In previous video, I'd already mentioned my thoughts on the Saudi peace agreements that were in very accelerated processes, and that this event can slow that down But, on the other hand, if the Saudi peace agreements are, let's say that will be halted by Israel's justified actions in this case, then they probably weren't very good to begin with. So let's hope that that's not the case. Anyways, this is probably my last update for tonight. It's, as I said, a little past midnight, and I'm going to try to get some sleep. But I wanted to update that we are at over 1,500 wounded, over 300 dead. I believe 4 buildings have been destroyed in Gaza, and the Gazan Ministry of Health claim over 300 dead as well. Israel is still, for reasons that are beyond me and have been for years, providing electricity and water and many other things to Gaza. But anywho, God bless you all. Support Israel. Pray for the IDF. Pray for the government. Pray for the wounded. And pray for comfort to the families of the dead. The names of the dead have started to be released. 15 in the settlement of Netivyah. A full colonel who was the head of the Nachal Brigade fell in combat, and others have already started to be named. May their memories be blessed. Another thing, I said I was going to end, but just to point out, today, when the army was still not functioning properly, and the information was very lacking, police officers, who for years have been the brunt of much complaining, charged like lions to attack the terrorists, and they were charged with handguns towards enemies with assault rifles and RPGs. So they too, their memories be blessed, and they were true heroes. God bless you all. I'll see you tomorrow.